Just like that. We're live again. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Tubadylan early morning late night chit chat session. I wave to you. This is my place. Welcome. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well tonight. Tonight's sponsor, once again, is beautiful Evian water. Made by the French Alps. Somehow the mountains themselves put together the effort to bottle their own water. So, go get a bottle. They're on sale on Amazon right now. Tastes good. So silky. It's a silky water. Is anyone out there tonight? Anyone there in live internet TV land? Hello? Hey guys. How you doing out there, audience people? You grooving like me? I didn't shave. Have to do that tomorrow. I think the mix isn't great. My voice is probably too soft. But there's no one really listening yet anyway. Hello. We're just listening to music tonight, not even doing anything. I might oil one of my horns because they always need to be oiled. What's up? Oh, I get some people in here. All right. Nice. Oh no, held for review. What's with the porn music? I'm okay with that. I hope you like the porn music, but it's not porn music. Okay, I said that pretty weird. I don't think it sounds like that, but I wouldn't know too much about porn music. Rotary valves can be tricky and they can be easy, but it's best you stay consistent with your oiling your rotary valves. I think that all tubas need oiling regularly quite a bit. So I would agree with that about Chinese tubas. But all tubas need to be kept oiled up because just the air in the environment will mess them up over time, and especially if you play them. So, the best oil for rotary valves, well, there's thicker oils that you use on the intricate parts of the valves. And then you can use a regular sort of thinner piston oil to wash the main part of the valves out and lubricate them by maybe pouring it above, in and through the valves. So I use the stuff, ultra pure. Probably won't focus on that. Let's see, bam, see if it does it. Whoop. Oh yeah, how nice, look at that. Oh, so cinematic. But they have other oils too that you put on. Maybe that's what I should oil up, is one of my rotary instruments. Don't oil via slides. Hit them on the bearing cracks, even if you got to remove stop arm for top. Ah, that makes sense. There's no contact points inside a rotor. Okay, well, so all these years that I pour the oil through my rotors, that makes no difference at all? I just don't believe it, because when they get like hard to push, they get tight or even stuck, and you pour the oil through, they get lubed up from the inside. Teflon for pivot points of linkages. Well, perhaps, yeah, perhaps Teflon. Yeah. Yeah, the Miraphone horn I have has great valves, so it seems to need less maintenance than rotaries of the past that I've had. So, but you Scots need to talk to each other, because this here first Scot that asked the question, second Scot triplet, you seem to have all the answers, so you guys should hang out. Think about all the slide grease loosened by the thinner oil. It does get loosened by the oil, yeah. The slide grease, or the stuff I use, lanolin, it just works okay for what I do with it. Yeah, well, let's, I wonder if I should look at the rotary horn. Isn't it back here? Yeah, it's back here. I don't think that one really needs oiling, so I'm not going to oil that one. I'm just going to sit here for now, because I don't feel like it yet. German rotors are the highest quality. Try red grease. Oh man, I'm sure there's a billion answers for these things. I don't know if I'll try anything new, to be honest, as far as like lubing up my horns, just because I have so much of what I need here and it all seems to work well, you know. Took a horn in and got it back today from the repairman. my Shilky trombone. It's downstairs, but did a good job. Did a good job. We've got a good local repairman here in Charlotte, and he did a nice job. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. He told me that Shilky's no longer making trombones. Not like they made trombones for a really long time, but they tried it for some amount of time. It just wasn't worth their while. Oh, welcome. Yeah, thanks for talking about slide pulling. For slides that need pulling, well, I get away with no slide pulling on some of my horns. Unless I was really having to hold a note out with an orchestra. But the fact that I don't play with orchestras very much, I get away with that on some of my horns. On the horns that do need it, I don't know, they're loosened up and they seem to work just fine with some lanolin. And if I need to speed it up, I put a drop or two of Marvel Mystery Oil, my favorite oil. The toxic, terrible stuff, but I use it on everything. BNS 101. Well, that sounds like what? Is that like a West Germany made horn? Oh, the #1 brass man in North America. Wow, that's saying a lot. Is that Joel Salzmanberger? He probably. Yeah, the guy here in town, Tommy Boyd, he's the only guy that I know of in town. He does fine work, but he's no Rob Stewart, if you know who he is. Robot Cam. I'm just chilling here listening to music. Thought I would come on because why not? Ah, Portland and Seattle, okay. All Fifth Circuits should be the same length as first to eliminate slide pulling. Oh, okay. Well, I think that makes sense. Located in Seattle. Oh, nice. Yeah. I've never been to Seattle. I've been to Portland. A long time ago. I liked the town back then. But I heard some bits of your cities up there are a bit of a mess these days. So, I'm here in Charlotte. It's a pretty mellow city, in my opinion. Of course, I'm from LA. I'll tell you, I would be happy if I lived the rest of my life and never have to go back to Los Angeles. That would be great. Despite them having good, well, actually great music there. Because I did love LA when I was there, but I like it here much better. Set 5 for A flat, G on B, double B flat. Wow, you've got it down to a science, Scott. That's pretty good. I'm kind of a strange tuner guy, so I'll just grab a horn and start playing it, and I'll have to move things around as I go, and then I figure it out pretty much with each horn and then just keep those slides in the same spots. And it works pretty well for me. My 6/4 Yorkbrunner needs slide pulling. So while I play, I am riding the first slide the whole time. And once in a while I'll grab the 4th valve slide if I really need to, just for really particular notes. The Miraphone Bruckner is probably the most in-tune contrabass tuba I've ever tried. That thing is super. The Mac Brass 421 is amazingly, plays amazingly well in tune. That one too, unbelievable. That's Chinese. Honestly, certain things about it are slightly junky because it's Chinese. It just doesn't have the feel that the German and the Japanese instruments have, you know. Oh, you have a Holton 345. Okay, 345. I'm guessing that's an old Holton, because you can't get a new Holton tuba right now. Most 5ths are too long. Yeah, well, my Yorkbrunner, I cut the 3rd valve slide right after I got it. Like, I realized literally the first night that they shipped it to me that it's just, it had to be cut. And then then that horn started playing incredibly well. I mean, just amazing. That horn is just a piece of art. Chinese quality leaps and bounds versus pre-Wessex and that. You saying that the Chinese instruments, the quality has like gone up, the bar for it way better? Yeah, the second, I haven't had that problem on any horns other than a trumpet that I have. Although I think that whoever had it probably had it purposefully made like that because it's a custom trumpet. Yeah, I have this one trumpet that plays. The tuning slide has to be all the way in for it to just make it to pitch. Which, you know, for a heavy trumpet, a custom trumpet, kind of a Monette quality trumpet, it's almost crazy that it's like that. Yeah, sometimes I'm just amazed. The Schilke trombone that I just got back from the repairman had a issue with the slide lock. So the slide lock would not lock properly unless it was unwound a bunch, which meant if you're using the slide lock, you're going to get a rattle when you play the instrument, which was crazy. So whenever you actually play the horn, you had to tighten up the lock all the way, and at that point you couldn't bring it back and actually lock it because it was too tight, so it wouldn't catch the hook, which was just crazy to me that happened. And that was from the factory like that. So I had the repair guy just take the little hook and take it off and move it back and realign it, because he understood what was going on there, and he fixed it, $100, whatever. That's why you buy them on it. Well, yeah, this horn that I've got, it's a super unique horn. I have it over here. It might be in a case right now. Let me see. Yeah, it might be there. Here, let me peek and see. Wide angle time. Let's see. Oh yeah, here it is. got a custom fitted mouthpiece for this horn too. So this is a Taylor Chicago heavy C trumpet, and I don't know how many of these they ever made, to be honest about it. This horn, see that? It's kind of tarnishing, but it's gold plated. But see how it's heavy, heavy walled. It's got an amazing sound. It's amazing. And it has the Bowerfield valves that are just awesome. Just a super awesome horn. The only issue with this horn is there's like no room to get it to A440. You're pushed all the way in, all the way in. It almost feels crazy. But then I think maybe whoever made it, because they wanted this heavy feel to this trumpet. This horn's not that old. I'm guessing it's 20 years old, but I'm not sure. It is tarnishing, so it looks kind of old, patinaed, because the silver underneath the gold tarnishes. So it's slowly tarnishing, but it's actually the silver that's tarnishing, not the gold, of course. Yeah, you'd have to cut the slide, but the that's probably something to try. If you really wanted to, if I needed to do that, I have, 7 other really nice C trumpets. So I almost like just keeping this as it is. I think that it was made that way so that it was supposed to be all the way in, and it just feels weird because like you're still on the edge, of regular pitch when you have no room at all, I've got such a cool mouthpiece for this horn too, but I think it's over in my shelf of mouthpieces over there. But yeah, I have a Monette trumpet. That's right back there. So yeah, I guess I would never bring this horn somewhere where I was playing out with people. I can't, because if someone tunes a piano, you just can't get sharp enough or flat enough. I always get confused over those two things. I can't. It needs to be pushed in more. It just needs to. But it won't do it. But yeah, it's a C trumpet, heavy trumpet. I don't even know if I've ever seen one like that. Kind of compact. Feels amazing, this horn. I mean, I could play this horn all day long, and it just has such a nice tone and nice sound to it. Well, it's good talking to you, Scott Triplett. You're a tuba player, obviously. And you have multiple tubas, too. That's cool. Tuning slide too short. Wow. I've been pretty lucky with my tubas. Other than the Yorkburner, I haven't had to change any of the slides. And this trumpet here. Got this close-up camera. I'm gonna try it out. See what it looks like. It's a pretty trumpet here. Ooh, details. That's pretty cool. It's working. Let's see. See the, well, you can really see the tarnish on there. There, Taylor UK. I don't know what kind of operation he has now, but this is from a while back, this horn. Ooh, look at that gorgeous image. Looks pretty good. Just playing with my cameras. I'm enjoying this. Me, mama, mama. Yeah, I got COVID. No, my local band is back playing, but I haven't been back there because I got COVID for their first few concerts, and I'm on the fence about going because they've got these weird rules about wearing a mask and playing. I don't know, man. That's weird to me. Like, showing up with some paper mask and like cutting a little hole in it or something, it's crazy. It's just crazy. But that's their policy. So, and they want you to put wrap a towel around your bell or some sort of thing that the COVID won't escape or whatever. It's crazy. Yeah, a bell cover, whatever. I could get a bell cover, but like that changes the tone of the instrument. Like I just can't. And if you're playing in a band, you know, like the tuba's a thudding, rhythmic part of the band. I don't want to deaden my sound at all with a bell cover. So I've got a problem with that, so I haven't gone back to my band. It's silly, yeah, it's not awful. That's a better way to put it. That's a better way. But yeah, I think it's silly. And I guess it's a compromise that I don't know if I want to make or not. As much as I like playing in that band. Yeah, I guess I never played much sousaphone. I did some jazz gigs in LA and played some sousaphone, sousaphone in some clubs. But I don't know, I think it was more of a looks thing, and every time I played it I missed my concert tubas. So I just went back to playing the concert tubas because they play so much better. But there's a use for a sousaphone. It just wasn't ever my thing, so I don't even have one here. I used to have one. I had a 1939 York sousaphone, like a monster sousaphone. It was amazing. Okay, I'll put this away before I drop it. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. I never played a sousaphone much. And when I did, I thought, man, you're so limited. You only have 3 valves. And the sound and the feel of it is definitely different. There's a thing about that compared to the concert tuba, where you point and shoot at, you shoot at the sky, but whatever, not the concert tuba. I'd buy a helicom before a sousaphone. Well, that makes sense, yeah. I'm waiting. Like my legs are bad, so the longer that they hold out and don't get it done, probably the longer it's probably never going to happen for me. But as far as a tuba purchase for me, the one tuba that I've been waiting for from Wessex is the double C Helicon with 5 valves, even if it has to be a dependent 5th valve. Yeah, Wessex makes one. Well, they make a C with four valves. But I've talked to Jonathan Hodgetts several times about how much I want a C Helicon with 5 valves. Joel Selzmanberger, he built one like that, and that's his like favorite all-time horn. And I think Wessex is going to do it, but it seems like it's taking forever before they're coming out with it. I haven't seen it yet. He tells me they're going to do it though, and I've talked to him several times about it. He knows I'll buy one right away. I mean, that's and hopefully it's relatively light. Chinese tubas tend to be heavier to me. Yeah, how many times do you need a low C sharp? Well, I have looked at the tuba as a solo instrument for a long time now. So back when I actually played a lot in LA, I definitely played more as a jazz and rock tuba player, as far as gigs and things in some ways, than as a classical, even though I played a lot of classical gigs too. But that became more of my thing, and I think the more freedom you have to play, if you are improvising, I love having as many valves as possible on a horn, and as many ways to do tricks and whatever you can do in your head on a horn. To me, that's the way to go. So the 5 valve double C Helicon to me seems like the coolest choice for a portable tuba. Low B on a double B flat. Yeah, you probably rarely ever need those notes. They're so low that you can fake them, and most people won't even know. So yeah, totally agree. It's cool there's a 4 valve one. Old 4 valve rotor Cervini cut to C. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that would be kind of neat. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if it was a rotary valve Helicon at all. I don't even know which one would technically do better, rotors or pistons. I'm thinking that you can get rotors to be a little bit lighter. I would like to see that Helicon be like a really light brass, but I don't know if they'll do that. I don't know how heavy that C is. Oh, I'm tired. Played low E many times on E flat, but that's in the normal range. Yeah, what do you think of that Wessex tubby E flat tuba they've got? The one where it almost looks like when you play it, your head is gonna touch the pancake of the bell. It's right underneath, like, because the mouthpiece seems up really high. That tuba also intrigues me. I don't have an E flat tuba, but E flat was the first tuba I ever played. Older short throw piston or rotary your friend. I think these pistons on the Eastman 632, they feel real short throw, and they're super fast. They're just really nice, and it seems like you barely have to move them. I really like those pistons. You've been bugging him for the 6/4. Well, he has it out. Well, have you tried it? That's the one we're talking about, right? The tubby. That tuba looks incredible. Yeah, I started band in the 7th grade too. E-flat tuba. Yeah, for me, that would have been 1987. Oh, he doesn't have, doesn't he call the tubby the 6/4 E-flat tuba? Oh, you want a York style 6/4 E-flat tuba? Yeah, I guess the one that he has, the tubby, it's not a York style. I kind of like the idea of my head being like smashed right up near the bell. You're from Ojai, California. Yeah, well, I'm from LA. Yep, 1987 was when I was in the 7th grade in Los Angeles. And I started playing trombone. I could really play well, pretty fast off the bat, but I was already into music. So the tuba player's name was Gus, and he was a great player. I heard him play a few times. At least the school rumor was that Gus was caught with pot and expelled from school. And so the band director, Mr. Patesky, came to me and literally just begged me to switch to tuba. It was kind of an obvious choice because I was by far the biggest kid in the entire school. I was already playing trombone, and I could play in tune and play louder than all the other kids. And maybe I was a nice guy, so maybe he knew he'd get an easy answer from me, and I would just say yes, sure. So he gave me this Reynolds E-flat tuba, bell facing front. Said, bring this home over the weekend, and then you can play on Monday in the band with it. And brought it home over the weekend, learned it, played the first week in the band, the only tuba player in the band. This was the second half of the 7th grade. The first half I was in the beginning winds class. And then the next year he wanted me to play Tubby the Tuba with the band, and we did Tubby the Tuba. Many junior highs had E-flats exclusively. That makes sense. You learn E-flat, you're in good. It's kind of like trumpet players have an easy transition to it because of the way the reading of the music works. So that's probably why they do it. They start people on trumpet and they bring them over. Yeah, it was huge, Reynolds, maybe a 6/4. It did have a huge bow on a big, I mean, for an E-flat tuba, it was like, they had 2 of them. And they had no lacquer whatsoever. You could tell that they'd been beaten out like year after year for like 25, 30 years. Ah, the other Scott, yeah. B-flat as standard, that's your standard contrabass, but a lot of people play E-flat in the UK. Am I right? Yeah, a lot of people play the E-flat tuba that I've seen, but it's the bell right, you know, valves on top kind. So I have the British F tuba by Wessex here. Actually, I just posted a TikTok video, the Force theme, on my Tubadylan TikTok tonight, playing on that tuba, the Wessex British F tuba. It was played a Star Wars tune. They would give baritone sax or contralto parts, treble clef, Bess and Imperial B-flat. Wow, that sounds pretty cool. That's probably a 4-valver, huh? Yeah, I have one B-flat tuba back there. The Wilson 5/4 5-valve B-flat contrabass. Thing is a beast. It weighs a gajillion, billion, million pounds. But boy, yeah, it has a beautiful sound. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous tone. But it's almost like, it's crazy, that horn. It's so hard. It's big. It feels bigger than my Yorkbrunner, even though my Yorkbrunner stands slightly taller than it. It's, you know. I've probably stood on the bells. Yeah, well, I've got really long arms, so I don't have that problem. Super long arms. I'm 6'3" and all torso, no legs. So I have some tall friends that so typically I can still reach above someone who's about 6'6", 6'7", because my arms are so long. So. Wow, they're so long. Long arms. Yeah, the only reason I bought that Wilson is because I just couldn't pass it up. I follow eBay looking for insane deals, and I have gotten certain horns that I've shown, but it's few and far between. You have to be ready to turn down and or lose a gajillion auctions if you really want to do it well. And the Wilson, I did it right. Yeah, I don't know if the Wilson has stainless valves. The valves are very nice on it. They're very good. I don't know what they do, but it's a really high quality instrument. It's ginormous. You want to see it? I'll pull it out if you guys want to see it. Yeah, they're super Swiss quality. But yeah, that horn I got for less than $5,000, and there was not a scratch on it. And I don't know what those go for retail, but I'm sure it's well over 10. It's probably 15. I don't know. I don't know what those go for. But I got it for less than 5. So I thought that was a super great. Oh, you do want to see it? Okay. You want to see the Wilson? Okay, hold on. I'll switch camera angles and stuff, and I'll bring it out. Okay. I might even play it, but I'll have to hook something up and switch microphones and stuff. And it probably would need a... This might be the one we should... This is the one I guess we're going to oil. At least the pistons. Switch this mouthpiece around. Now, I'm not a B-flat player, so if I play it, it will sound weird. All right, let's see how I can pull this out. This is my heaviest. It's my heaviest tuba. I don't know if you can see me. I don't know if I put it on the right. Probably see me way in the back there, moving around. Here we go. Ugh. It's so tarnished now because I haven't shined. I don't think I've ever shined this one, not even once, since I got it. It's such a humongous tuba. Wow, here, I got this angle going. Let me get over here. Boop, boop, boop. All right, there we go. Ugh. There we go. Look at this beast. They're 10,000 now? Oh, well, that's not too bad. I don't like the term horn porn, but it's, you know, somebody came up with that. I guess it was clever. But, let's see what the valves, yeah, the valves feel pretty good. I mean, I keep my horns in a decent shape, even though they don't necessarily look that way. Let's see, let me get a different shot. This might be a good angle here too, to look at this horn. Boom, this is the Wilson double B flat monstrosity. It's so heavy. I mean, this horn is heavy, dude. I mean, it's like built super nice. Yeah, Wilson, Swiss made. Is that what it says? I think that's what it says. I bet it would look just beautiful if I polished it up. You know. So let's see. What would I do to play a few notes on it? Yeah, I'm not a big B flat player. So if I was going to play notes, the first thing to do would be to turn off the background music. Now I'm just on my talkie mic, but you don't want to hear the tuba through the talkie mic here. So I have to switch to I may be able to play it. Gotta turn the computer back on. Turn the computer up. Hold on a second. I'm gonna pause background music on the computer. There we go. And then I gotta put this horn down for a second. Let's see here. Then I have to come over here. I've got Logic open on this computer down in here. It's connected to the looper, which is connected to this mixer, which is connected to a plethora of microphones. And we can get some input out of this looper here. And turn this down. Bring up maybe my mouse mic. Let's see if it's some more signal. Yeah, let's get some signal. And because I'm that kind of dork, I've got to put some sort of reverb on here. Let's just throw one on here. A medium space. It might end up sounding crazy and being too much, but Prince Hall 1. Let's let Prince have some reverb here. All right. So then let's try listening through here and see if anything happens here. I need to deactivate the Sony mic so you won't hear me talk for a second, and I'll try to play a few notes here. Sony mic's off. I probably should listen. I'm going to listen through my internet. These are my internet output headphones. Internet output headphones. And we'll see if I actually hear the tuba coming through it. Let's see. See, I tried to blow a C because I'm so used to that. Yeah, lose the reverb. Yeah, I think the reverb doesn't sound great either. All right, let's see what happens if I turn that off. This would be just dry off the mic. I'm hearing echo. Yeah, probably not that bad. The ceiling's 9 feet. It's not 8 feet, so that's good. No, better. Good. Okay. But I'll tell you, my reading skills would be terrible if I sat down and tried to play B flat in a band right now. Yeah, I'm not used to the slots on this instrument. Not at all. It feels so different. But it feels like it can feel good. Like I don't know, the B flat's not as strong as, I don't know, but it might not be the right mouthpiece I don't know if this is the right mouthpiece for this horn. That's just another thing. Yeah, British band, C fingerings in treble. That would drive me nuts. Yeah, I think I could figure out how to play it. I've played this in my band before, and I missed less notes than I thought I would. But I missed way more notes than I wanted to. Yeah. The same bugle in C would be a tad less warm. I always tell my wife I buy them to play them or trade them. If she noticed I'm not playing one, she gets on me. Yeah, my wife doesn't care and doesn't complain. The only problem is the amount of tubas that I have. So I just don't have room for them. If I ever put an add-on in my house, it will have to be a special tuba room for more tubas. That would probably be good. I have an obscene amount of tubas. Well, I mean for tubas. I think I have 10 or 11 of them. Yeah, but I tell my kids this is good. Look at all the inflation. So with inflation, all my tubas are now worth more, sort of. Money's just not worth anything. Money never really was worth anything anyway, except for sort of the concept it's connected to, right? So anyway, tubas. I think they're a good investment. Anything tangible that you have is gonna keep its weight in gold. The technology here that I have is already outdated, but it sort of works. The studio here is set up in almost a timeless way. I can broadcast on the internet at 1080p, And even with some older stuff, it's working great. But that's because I put everything into it at a certain point and built this place, and it just works. And no one else could ever make it happen. I'm going off in a rant here. The ceiling in here is 9 feet. There's a few shelves in here. What you're looking at is just one side of the room, half the room. I mean, if I do the wide angle here, now you're seeing half the room. You know, over here and there are my desktop workstations that you can't see. I do have, well, you can see it because I have other stuff. I'm missing one of my cameras here, but if I put it on this camera, you might see some of it. That's from my workstation looking back. So that's where I usually sit and work, because I work here in the studio. Am I living the dream? Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what living the dream is. I had all kinds of dreams, and none of them were like this, but I think that most people don't exactly end up living what their dream is. I've been very blessed, so I do have a cool room to work in, and I work at home, and I have an interesting job, so at least there's that. I have a beautiful wife, so that's awesome. She's a model, by the way, so if you're still listening, I guess I got one guy on here, but you should go to Instagram, go to modern_minimal_mini on Instagram, modern minimal mini, and that's my day job, is I'm a photographer, so you'll see all my photos there of my model wife, modern minimal mini on Instagram. And I'm a music supervisor. So you'll have to figure out what show I work on by looking at credits at the end of shows. But I find, sync, place, and license music in a television show, and have been doing it for a long time. And I think it's fascinating, and I love doing it. It's kind of like scoring. I used to do that too. But I do that. And I do some voiceover work so I can record. I have a voiceover recording here. This room is great for recording. I've got it all set up. So it's very, very quiet most of the time if my hound dog isn't barking, because her bark can penetrate every wall everywhere. So that's about it. How long have I been on here? 59 minutes. Oh, yeah, so the show is almost over. I try to aim for an hour if I can actually do it when I come on. Well, it's really good to meet you, Scott Triplett. What's your day job? Or are you just a tuba player? Yeah, I've had a unique life. I'm approaching 50. I have a few years before I get to 50. But I have always worked in the creative field, meaning that I was a musician and a composer and a songwriter turned sort of filmmaker, and, well, composer and filmmaker. Oh, well, retired is good. Yeah, good to meet you too. Way out there on the West Coast. I'm from the West Coast, so. Yeah, so I got, all my jobs have been creative in making either music or films or commercials or and voiceovers and things like that. So I figured out how to do a lot of things, and they've done okay for me. So And I work from home, which is great. So, and the show I work on, I really like. So, it works out pretty well. Yeah, I guess I have a niche. Sometimes I've thought about like trying to find other things to do, or really trying to go crazy on YouTube and try to have some sort of career here. I make about $10 to $15 a month on YouTube. But you know, if there was a dream job, it might be sort of working on. Honestly, my dream job would be to preach the gospel and help to bring peace to the world. But at this point, there will be no peace before Christ returns, really. So that would be my dream job, though. It's like my switcher crashed, but it stays connected somehow on YouTube, which is good. I'm not at liberty to disclose that show. Yeah, I choose not to disclose it on my YouTube ventures. Let's just put it that way. It was not impossible to find out. So I'll give you that. If it's worth your while, wouldn't be worth my while if I were you to like figure out that mystery. But yeah, I don't make it public the show I actually work on. But I've worked on a show that's on worldwide television for the last 15 years, like every episode of it. That's my main gig. But I don't have like a non-disclosure agreement with them. That's just what I've chosen to keep. I've chose to keep that career separate from my YouTube and my social media fun. I don't know if that makes any sense. It might be crazy, but that's just the way I do things. I got to be secret about some things. Yeah. But my name's in the credits, so there's a way to. I mean, if you watched enough shows and you watch all the credits, eventually you're going to find the one I work on. Because it is on, international TV. It airs several times a week in the United States, pretty much everywhere, and all around the world, really. So, and I do all the music for the show. Find, license, and place and sync all the music for the show. The sort of the composer. They call it music supervisor, but they don't need a composer because they've got me. And I have fun doing it. I enjoy it. But it's hard work, and you have to be. You always have to be on time. You always have to get it done, and there's deadlines, and there's a certain amount of shows that happen every year, and it's never consistent as to when the editors are going to get me the show to do the music. So even though I work at home, it's not always easy, and I oftentimes have to work, late nights doing it. But it's fun and it's rewarding, and once you literally score out the whole show, it adds a tremendous. It's not like Star Wars or anything like that, but like watch Star Wars with no music or sound effects. I do all the sound design, so sound effects, music, everything. But yeah, we're over an hour. It was great to meet you, Scott Triplett. I hope you're subscribed, and I hope you come on and chat with me more. I don't come on here live in any organized way, so it's kind of crazy. I've thought about doing that too with YouTube, but like I said, I do it differently. Like with my job, I never miss a deadline, and the show always goes out on time. Always. 15 years. With this thing, I just come on when I feel like it. And it's not really that much. My original thought with the studio would be to come on and do sort of a one-man band, do lots of instrumental weird stuff. And I've tried it. I wouldn't say I wouldn't go back to it, but I so don't know what I'm doing, even though I've set up all these cool instruments and technology, that I'm always flubbing around the technology and not able to make anything worth listening to. At least that's how I felt when I was doing it. So I don't know if I'll go back to trying that or not. Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna take off. It was really great to talk to you on the West Coast. Sounds like pit work on steroids. Most YouTube folks worry about copyright music on their vlogs. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the music I have in the background? Hey, Trent, how you doing? Yeah, I play music. It's not playing right now, but I often will play music in the background on my show, and it's from Epidemic Sound. So you can pay Epidemic Sound to have a fully blanketed license on if you're a YouTuber, and I could play their tracks all day and all night on my live streams as loud or soft as I want. And you know, I don't know what I pay for that. It's like $150 or $200 a year for that. Trent Hamilton popped in. That was cool. If you haven't seen his videos, he's fantastic. He's from New Zealand. He's kind of a YouTube friend of mine. I really like him a lot. He's absolutely hysterical, and he's an incredible player. Like, the guy can play every brass instrument. He's really got a nice touch on his playing, and he's also just a hilarious guy. And so if you haven't checked out Trent Hamilton, the guy who just popped in and popped out, click on his channel. It's much more interesting than mine. It's really cool. And you probably will, if you don't know who he is, once you click on it, if you've watched YouTube for horn content, you've probably seen him before. Yeah, man. Have a good night. I'm going to sign off too. What a cool live stream tonight. Good night, everyone. Anyone watching later on, love God and love your neighbor, love your enemy. This is Tuba Dylan, and had a great time with you all, and